Killa Kela podcast. KillaKelaOfficial.com.
Street Culture TV.
Beatbox created.
Killa Kela.
And we're here to talk about world music and street culture.
Killa Kela podcast.
We have a gentleman inside his house, thank you for having us, that is raised on the fertile soil of street culture. Like a lot of the people that come on the podcast, his pedigree starts back all the way from drum and bass, hip-hop, from battle rapping to MCing. Then further on in his career, from MTV to the Brit Awards to iconic moments in British music as a soul singer, merging and collaborating with some of the greats. I need not introduce him anymore than the mighty Rag and Bone Man in the building.
Hello, sir.
You're in front of Jules Holland now, and your performance level's going up, the momentum's building, your armory that you're gathering with every single scenario, good or bad, right or wrong, it's happening and it's not going to stop, and the album drops and everything changes for you.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Well, I don't think I was really prepared for it, to be honest. And I'm still not really. Like all that comes with this. I'll tell you the biggest thing for me, what changed.
A gentleman that has scoured the rave surface for decades and decades on your pirate radios from Cool FM, just to name one of many. He has binged and purged the world of drum and bass, and before, along cohorts such as MC Det. It's just, there's a lot to go through. We're going to indulge, we're going to get deep, and yes, my very good pleasure. This is Brocky Inside the Place.
Respect, man.
Music is inherent in the streets. Do you think it's just a soundtrack, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all it ever has been.
100%.
So it's whatever's flavour.
Yeah.
But they don't care for it.
Nah.
They don't care.
Most of them don't care.
No,
It's popular.
Yeah.
I mean, one time this guy came to book me in debt on a Sunday. So we're like, wow, okay. Gone down there. It's a christening. We're like, what the hell is this? It's a christening. Anyway, so me and Det's gone on. The same night we got Jungle Fever. So we've gone on. Hours gone. I'm like, Det, we have to go. We have to get back to London for Jungle Fever. Det's like, Brox, what's up? I'm like, he said, it's not going to happen. I'm like, why not? He said, you see that guy there with the hoodie? I'm like, yeah, he just took a Uzi out and said, you're not going nowhere.
Matt, Rack and Ruin.
Hello.
Golden City, how are you?
Yeah, good.
So in a scenario, right, with someone like Emanike, where he literally takes 20 minutes to put down something. Okay, so is that a I think we can go to the pub now, guys. Is it one of like, we know that this is a banger?
I think you can feel it when you're sort of, you can feel it when you're in the studio.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so quick, I think, because I've written hundreds of songs that you have to spend a long time umming and ahhing, changing the lyrics, changing the melodies, rewriting the chorus, whatever it is, and
slowly sinking.
And it's slowly sinking, exactly. You know, we were working with like Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
You know, she came.
JP Cooper as well, right?
JP Cooper we worked with as well.
Yeah.
And
Jennifer
just
Hudson, wow.
Yeah, she came over from America. Like it was absolutely
surreal,
bonkers. We ended up doing like touring with her out in the States. Went on like American TV. Went on Jimmy Kimmel with her. Went on Dancing with the Stars. Played live with her on there. Like, you know, I think we did what's the UK one? We did Top of the Pops with, you know, Emanike and all this stuff. Like it was proper like surreal.
Wow.
For us. And you know, we never thought that those songs that we just made in our little studio in Finsbury Park.
To some of you that aren't in the know, this may be just me throwing out a whole heap of words, but to the trained, this is a gentleman that's left an indelible mark on the UK music scene and the street art scene as a whole, from Rich No Limits, moving on into Sub Low with the Black Ops, pre-grime and dubstep. He was the soundtrack. Moving into hip-hop, dance, freedom is the new record label, and we're here to talk about his life and times and more. He goes by the name of Johnny Cat.
Oh, you alright? Bless my G.
Intel, there's some homework.
Man, the tune is off the chain. It's a fucking classic. It's LB and my cousin's Green Chronicles, which I didn't even know until recently.
Really?
Yeah. Right, so, yeah.
More serendipity going on here.
Yeah. So that tune itself, when I heard that tune, I thought, if I can fuse that, what I'm getting from this song, if I can fuse that with my hip hop beats, then I'm gonna create my own genre, sub-low. So I get the rave bass line with the hip hop beats. That's how sub-low comes.
Inside the house, we have a lady that is most definitely proficient in the skills of MCing, predominantly drum and bass. Girls Next Door. Big up Myla Falls as well. And big up Nick in the back. This is Maddie V. How are we?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, yeah. I know how powerful it was when I was in a rave when I was younger, when I was absolutely off my tits, having the best time.
Yeah.
And the MC or the DJ made a contact or looked at me or made some sort of that, like, you'd get hype, you'd feel like some sort of buzz, you would. And that is just something that I try to recreate when I'm on stage. I try and look into the eyes of everybody, like, no matter how, like, anxiety-filled it is, like, just that connection, people will remember it.
Yeah.
And you're just there to make the party even more fun.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, you're the soundtrack.
I'm doing my best.
Yeah. Doing great,
Doing
girl.
my best.
Raving.
Love a rave.
Have you got any up to any mischief? In fact, this is the question. What's the most mischief you've ever got up to in a rave? We are going across the Atlantic into the Midwest, where they serve it the best. It's a windy time over there, but it's just heating up. We have a gentleman that has so much heritage and history in the game. And I'm not just talking about MCing, influencing God knows how many people in a short space of time, but also graffiti artist, or should I say writing artist, a man that pioneered the field of a backpack era with Raucous Records, company Flow, but also goes under the guise of Loon TNS. He goes by the name of Big Joss inside the place. How are you, my brother?
They're cement pylons. They're at the front of the gate. So when the bus comes in, he doesn't hit the gate.
I know exactly the ones you mean.
It's a little pylon, right? It's a little small pylon. I slip off of this high fence and land straddled on this cement pylon and obliterated my nuts. Just like one nut I can't even feel. It's pouring, raining. It's Merrick Boulevard. I run across Merrick Boulevard. I passed out unconscious. These cats never even came to the yard that night.
Oh,
so I'm like doing all of this for naught. It's unseasonably cold. It's raining. Now I wake up from being unconscious and I gotta walk a mile home and I can't even walk.
Nasty Crew's original Mac 10 in the building.
Yes, I do.
The scene's responding.
Yeah.
You know, we're not talking about feral, we're talking about dons.
Yeah.
Really jumping on it.
Do you know what it is as well? That's where I feel the connection was lost between me and artists and supporters. And you know, when I spoke about my past and sort of going through recovery and stuff, that genuinely brought out, I just got a bit vulnerable, and that sort of brought a connection between me and people who follow me and people who understood me a little bit more. And I think that was important. So that was the first social side where the social media served me well. So I got a lot of support from that.
Humility,
you mean? Humility, 100%.
Right.
And from there, things just spiraled. And I mean, the work rate is just come from, I want to go, I want to do this, it's happening. And yeah, that's what happened. Within that, though, I did have to humble myself.
Inside the house, some of you may know him as the Rottenest. The Tony of Rottenestshire, no less, with a whole string of hits, ranging from Network Southeast to Kickoff, Estelle, collaborations, Mobos, you name it, he's got it. Kingdom, let's get it. Tony Rotten, Black Twang in the building. You know, I think when it comes to a Black Twang podcast, and often I've thought about this. You know, it's the idea of having you on has matured over time, and I've often thought to myself, wow, what do you lead on? Because for Black Twang, the name itself means so much to so many different people depending on the era. If it was Network Southeast, if it was Channel U era, you know, because you were prominent in that time.
Yeah.
The whole Mobo era, you know, of the MTV bass era, and then follow that through with the prestige. Sammy Deluxe touring globally,
Yeah.
you know, being recognised in the Source magazine as international, you know, title of UK hip hop.
Yeah.
Man.
And recently, just to add, not to really kind of blow my own trumpet, but I guess I'm going to do it
Do
anyway.
it, it's your podcast, brother.
But I literally, 2 weeks ago, I received a Grammy certificate for something that I did 20 years ago.
Grammy certificate.
Yeah. So,
wow.
Yeah, and like I said, like all of this stuff I just do because I love the art of it. I'm not like, so, yeah, I must write something. However, you know, I said this story even when I was giving my speech when I was receiving that certificate. My dad was always. I remember my dad. You know, when he was alive, obviously God bless, God bless him, rest in peace. When he was alive, he was always like, oh, you know, hopefully, you know, I pray for you every day. Like I pray that you write a number one one day. And I'm always saying to him, Dad, I've already written number ones. They're just in the underground hip hop section. But
may not be in the Royal Variety performance, but it's definitely up in the top ranks, right?
But you know, my dad, like he was like, yeah, if you could write, he would have been so proud. He would have been so proud to like know that his son. I'm the only son, by the way. Got a Grammy nomination or Grammy award or whatever. And I remember when I think I got a Mobo award, and I was in the newspaper, and I think my dad cut out the piece of paper, the clip of the newspaper, and we always used to show it to his friends and stuff like that. So that was great.
Add the wallet kind of thing. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Inside the house. The North is most definitely represented. This gentleman right here has been there, seen it, done it, damaged it, and you know what with it. The life and times, the stories behind the stories. KIA Platoon's cruel inside the place.
Respect, my man. Probably started with the old school paint. There's a lot of heavy metals in the old school paint. He's seen it once or twice before, but nothing as severe as me.
Really?
Yeah, because I used to paint a lot indoors. You know, I've never wore a mask in my life.
Because of the warehouses and such.
Yeah, but also when I was in KIA, I used to sleep at my friend Guilty 104, his flat, and we used to paint in the room I'd sleep in. They'd paint a piece all day, then I'd sleep in there at night. In the morning, I'd wake up and I'd have paint all over me, and I'd be coughing it up. It'd be like multicoloured greenies. Really? Multicoloured greenies. I never thought anything about it. Years later, obviously, it come back to bite me, and I was painting in Rome one night. It was, man, because it gets really cold in Rome in winter. It was freezing. It was a weird sort of cold, and the using fat caps, the paint wouldn't move. It just stuck in the air. It was strange. And obviously I was breathing it in, I went really dizzy, collapsed, and I got up, and then I just started bleeding literally from every hole in my body.
Special guest, transatlantic to here. Very, very, very grateful to have him inside the Arts Arcade. A gentleman that has transcended not just rap, but also into graph and on-body artwork in the form of album covers, the likes of Tribe Called Quest, Eminem, DJ Spinner, logos with Drink Champs, Annoyed by Nature, to name a few. And then we've got another gentleman, he's a crew affiliate, a friend of mine, very good friend of mine as it is. Not only a world champion DJ, Scratch Pervert original, like the rest of us, but also he's got a new album called Speechless coming out. We have Scam, we have Harry Love. How we doing?
Chilling. that was like the most legit intro from a show I had that I've been on. You know, your hair was not possible.
Yeah, for real.
So I when I got older, I would meet people that would be like, well, you know, I used to draw, but I stopped doing it, and it was always weird to me. Like, why'd you stop? You know, and some people, I don't know if it's something that America puts in the mind of a lot of, you know, young Black Americans. Like, they just was like, yo, I just didn't think that could be a reality. I didn't really wonder if it could be a reality. I was just like, yo, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get it.
Like, I want to draw comics. Like, I want to work like where Jim Lee's at. You know what I mean? And I would just do shit, and I'd be like, okay, I feel like this is, you know, I'm looking at books that are out. I'm like, yeah, I think I got a shot. You know what I mean? And then, you know, sometimes, you know, later on, you find out you had more of a shot than you really knew.
Rosala.
Hello.
Okay, so let's take it back there. So very quickly, because I'm thinking, you know, Rat Pack, DJ Sy, Mickey Finn. I'm thinking all these OGs. Did you used to jump up with them and just chuck the instrumental on? Let's just get this going. Did you?
Yeah,
really?
absolutely. The Rat Pack. That's who's that? I forget the name. Mark and
Mark and
he's got a strange name.
Yeah,
It makes me laugh. They make me laugh so much. I've done a few gigs with them, and funnily enough, when I do gigs with the Rat Pack, it actually takes me back to the rave scene because they're doing the real underground club scenes. You know, and so it's strange for me because now I'm doing festivals and it's a totally different light.
Yeah.
You know, so when I do gigs with the Rat Pack, it takes me sort of back into the early 90s because it's really underground, hardcore, you know, and everybody's free to feel good. And those guys, I've been good friends with them for years.
Yeah.
Top guys.
I don't doubt that
guys.
for a second.
Yeah.
And so what happens? And so, all right, boys, here's the CD. Let me know when you want me to come on. That kind of vibe?
Yes.
Please tell me. Well, that's amazing. So they must be in the back of their head, or anybody who's like, yeah, Rosala's here, wicked, just put that CD on, let's absolutely have it.
Exactly.
We've got this one. Right.
I did a couple of gigs with them earlier this year. It was sort of like that. And it's just, Mark is just hysterical. I can't remember the other guy's name for the life of me. He cracks me up. But top guys. Really
amazing.
Top guys.
Alternate. That was another one.
Yeah,
Alternate.
yeah.
Was there moments within that time period, like, you know, Prodigy drop experience or something, and that you felt a shift of attention even more? Was it like an organism that was, you know, you felt the tremors?
Yeah, absolutely.
Inside the house, we have a gentleman from the early 90s era, predominant, a tour de force, alongside his crew RCS. You know the names, you know the game. Graf is in the building. Acrid. Why is it that people? Where does that mystique of Acrid come from? Why is it people? Because you were so prolific, they thought you were a nut job, just going for it with, you know, one goal in mind. Was it?
Yeah. So like I had different goals, like at different times. Like sometimes it was to do like loads of pieces. So I finished up on about 190 train pieces. Yeah, but there's other times I wanted every carriage, like with bombing. And there's other times also I looked at little Mets. I looked at individual carriages. I'd hit each individual carriage like 6 times. You know, there was tags in there from early 89, mid 89, late 89, 90.
What?
Different parts of 90.
Wow.
I could see that I'd hit that carriage like at different phases, like over those 2 or 3 years.
What does that do to you? You're such an interesting character for this question. Like, what does that do to the psyche when you see something and you probably don't even remember you ever doing it, but yet it's there and it's faded glory of tagging or whatever? That must be a real trip.
I've got quite clear memories. I can remember like nearly everything.
Can you?
Yeah, because I've not done drugs and stuff.
For
whatever reason.
So it was a bonus, yeah.
Yeah. I can remember like nearly everything. Like even when I stopped, I didn't have all my photos and outlines. I could actually memorize some of the outlines and remember which yards I'd done them in. So if I had to draw them again, like even now, there's an outline I've done at Northumberland Park. I could draw that out again, even though I don't have photographs of it.
What?
And I used to change my outlines all the time. Generally I wouldn't repeat outlines.
For us that are over here in London, we're going to take it somewhere else. We're going to Deutschland, of all places. Absolutely. For a man who's truly out there doing it right now, we're in for a right treat. We have Germany's legend, the one ABC crew inside the place, and he's out on location. How are you doing, my brother?
Well, fine, man. Fine. Well, good to hear you. Well, greetings from Munich to London. We had to run, and by this time, I had cowboy shoes on, and I was really faster than the civil policeman following me. But the problem was that I ran to just to the nature. And suddenly I fall down and I found out that he was throwing a nunchaku. You know this?
Yeah.
This to just maybe I was looking like a cow. I don't know. Or maybe because of cowboy.
yeah, exactly. I have never heard nunchuckers been used on a graffiti artist before, ever. South London Stand Up. If you don't know about this gentleman, his versatilities across graffiti as well as rapping. I mean, we're talking about a one-stop shop in creative output. He's like the Lemmy Kilminster of fucking UK hip-hop, bro. The mighty Cope inside the place.
Yes, my brother.
How
Everything blessed.
Real talk.
I'm here, man. It's hard to do, though. It's really difficult. It's like, lost my mums, lost my pops, moved out my house, was homeless for basically 6 months, something like that. It just, things grind on you, and then, but right now I look like I'm worth $1 million, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the truth be told, a lot of it's a facade. Everybody wants to look fly and fresh and fucking make everybody think that they're winning. How many people have you said to, "You all right, mate?" And they go, "Yeah," and you full well know they're not.
I mean, this man needs no introduction. If you were ever around and continue to be around the cycles of the street culture life, you'll know this gentleman prominently in the European sound system scene. Heartless Crew. Oh my God. One Extra's very own Big Up, my brother Bushkin inside the place.
Yes, Killa. The raves there, the darker the raves was, the one where you got the corner and it's just bare crack you can smell in the corner, whatever. Them raves were the best raves. Because you're on edge. You don't know if it's going to go off or not. But believe me, that sticky vibe.
Oh, I get goosebumps, you tell him.
You can't beat it. You can't. That was like, that was a thing. Like you have to be in them raves there. You want to be.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That's
like folklore. That becomes the street folklore.
Yeah, that is it. You have to be there. If you're someone, if you think you're someone, you better be at that rave there. Because that's what it is.
Blue Note, Metalheads.
Yeah.
For starters, you go in that place and you're just like, the energy.
Yeah.
And the music comes on and everyone's just like, it's a zone.
You're in the zone. Everyone, as I'm saying, it's a whole culture, a whole scene. That's what's missing nowadays. The scene.
Yeah.
And then there was a scene.
Yeah.
People have come and dismantled the scene and whatever and watered it down because they know that unity is strength.
Yeah.
But that when there was the scene there and everyone's there's a cohesiveness and a like-mindedness and it's powerful.
As a club promoter, I know you appreciate where I'm coming from. General managers don't want that shit in their clubs. More Fire Crew now, how are we?
How's it going, man? How's it going, bro?
We had to get the bigger table out for this one. Wow. Tour stories alone must be absolutely bonkers, especially on the breakthrough moment. Oi dropping, boom. Yeah. And everyone wanted to know where Stratford Rex was. We're from outside London.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly, bro.
Where?
Always Stratford Rex was at Club Aztec as well.
Yeah.
That was used to be another venue, Temple. But yeah.
Wow. Give some tour stories of the time. I mean, it's crazy to think because nowadays you don't have those immediate portals that allow you to be fed through bangers. Yeah. You got to kind of really go at it and find, the diamonds in the rough.
Exactly. Yeah.
But this was like cooked, ready made, and you guys were just running it. Oh my goodness, we are in the presence of absolute greatness from 1984, long time. This gentleman has been serving us with some of the most upfront, current and beyond graffiti and, oh my goodness, a trailblazer, a pioneer in the game. Kema is inside the place. What are we saying, my brother?
Hello.
Yeah, I see it. Broad as brass. Wow.
That's from a couple of weeks ago, to be fair.
Just a quick question. How long does something like that take you to kind of... We're talking black books here. Like, how long does that take?
I don't even know, fucking ages. See, I can't spend like all day on a piece because of, family, work, homes, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I try and do a few hours here and there. But overall, I think I was on that for a couple of weeks. And doing bits now and again.
Couple of weeks. Wow. What is that? You know what I'm saying?
That's last year, I think that is.
More. With distinct pleasure right here. Gentleman that embodies street culture 360 to the fullest, a man of many lives, and is currently breathing fresh air into the tattoo scene of London. We have the life and times of the mighty Ross Hell.
How we doing? Are you good? Being into the Libertines, having friends that used, always told myself that like I wasn't, like it wouldn't get hold of me. You know, I was young, like 20 odd.
Yeah.
And it did get hold of me, but man, I tried so many. I've been through 3 windshields, like stolen cars, like ex's and ex's dad, one ex, the dad and the mum car crashed. Yeah, just like being locked. They like tried to get me clean and like they'd lock me in a room or whatever, and I'd manage to get out, get the key, and just madness.
Really?
Yeah, once I was on the way to Howsham from Eastbourne, 3 o'clock in the morning. It was pitch black. I was going down like the A, whatever it was. It's like a dual carriageway. There was no lights. I was doing about 90 because I was ill and I was trying to get to London quickly and back before the person knew that I'd taken a car. And I hit a roundabout that just came out of nowhere, and I fucking jumped it, bro. Like, you know, like roundabouts that are banked with trees on.
Yeah.
I was like going and then like trying to look at my phone where I'm going. As I looked up, I saw I was doing like 85, 90, and there was a roundabout like 100 yards. I thought, I can't slam the brakes on because I'll skid and it will be bad. I would roll this way. I was like, I'll try and jump it.
Inside the house, we have an OG established legendary status in the world of garage music, which was commercialised in 2000 by the man and peoples themselves, the likes of Oxide Neutrino, So Solid. There was a duo that really took and set precedents and allowed for the ever-flourishing genre to take shape and be popularised. His cohort is Mr. DJ Luck, who's been on the show, and with me right now, MC Newt. Their perception of music, I mean, never mind the fact that, you know, Dad's MC Neat, standard, that in itself is, you know, incomprehensible. It's quick as that your dad, you know, where does that position Luck and Neat in their record collection is a whole different kind of thought process, isn't it? But they must have a different concept to the value of music because that's been their financial upbringing.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. I mean...
What a crazy concept.
I mean, luckily, I'm seen as... I'm still a cool dad. You know, the days my kids...
That's all I asked for.
The day I get a tap on the shoulder, the day you get a tap on the shoulder and say, Dad, you know what, boy, you know what I mean? I heard that last song and I think that lady is trying to just hang up that mic. I'm hanging it up immediately.
Yeah,
immediately. I wait for this, or they say, I'm out of the game. I mean,
Yeah.
But as it stands, Dad, yeah, you're still cool. They send me video. I mean, we done Glastonbury last year. My daughter was at the front.
Stop.
Yeah. And like she's there, like 40,000 people at this stage thing. And
That's mad.
It's and like she's there jumping, all her friends are in there jumping around and blah blah blah. And I'm still Dad. So I said, yeah, pick up my daughter May May over there. I said, May May, I know all the security in here.
Inside the house, I am it's like I'm a kid again. Me and my friend here go a long way back, to say the least. Brighton is where he is from, and a creative starburst of all manner of output in the world of hip-hop, alternative, graffiti, you name it. He goes by the name of Rec.
Hi, Killa. REQ in Style Wars, right? Scene is at the wall painting next to Duster.
Yeah.
And he's going, your first outline's always needed, he says. You can't just go and colour in the air. You can't just fill in the air. And we go, right, okay, we're not going to do a first outline anymore. We're going to just fill in the air. And then he said, you got to have your cloud and whatever, you know, like your 3D and things like that. And we go, right, we're not doing those anymore. So we were reactionarily sort of going, right, we're not going traditional anymore. We're going to go opposite to what Scene said and hopefully grow our own thing.
That's incredible. Lee Bofkin.
Killa Kela, my friend. It's lovely to see you again.
Good to see you too. Corporate end, because just ticking the box just means that they can go, get on with their day to the next event or the next thing or the next launch of whatever. Yeah.
That will never produce inspiring work.
No.
And it will never produce like some level of societal change. No. And I mean that in terms of like London Mural Festival is something that we invest in. Mm-hmm. It's a marketing. What that means is it costs money, right? We don't make money out of it. It costs a lot. But, in a business sense, you call that marketing, right?
Yes, that's right.
You invest in what that idea is, and we don't do it for the stats and the data. We do it because we believe in an idea. You will find people at companies that, and people at companies at different stages in their career will care that much more about resonating with those crowds. Yeah. And some communities, some brands have got that more in their culture, Red Bull being a good example, because they do these cool things again and again and again. They support athletes and they do et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And there aren't that many brands out there that I would say deeply care, frankly, that much over time. It's not to say that they don't care or the individuals don't care, but it's very easy to do a project in 1 year, but what you really want is someone to ideally go on a journey and develop a project and a concept and an idea over time where there's something that you can build on.
2 for 1 in this one. Woo. We have an X-Men. We have a fashion supremo. I'm totally outnumbered on the polo. It's Keo and Kish Cash. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Come on, I'll tell you what, your new set's attacking me. How real was Warriors in comparison
That's a bloody good question.
Into the thing. Obviously, there's a lot of hyperbole. I don't think you'd have some dude with the milk bottles going, Warriors come out to play, because that seems corny. But what I'm saying is, what's the realness?
It was very Hollywoodized, if that's the word. They had guys with clown makeup and baseballs with roller skates on, but I just described to you the Jolly Stompers.
Yes.
That was a real clique, right? And they had different divisions, Suicide Stompers, and you know what I mean, Baby Stompers, and so that was a real thing. But
what borough did they represent?
Brooklyn, 100%. So Jolly Stompers, I saw a lot of them from Crown Heights, Flatbush, but they were all the way out. They were big. Wow. The Tomahawks were big.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The Jolly Stompers. And then you had the Homicides. And same thing with the Homicides, different divisions. Crazy Homicides, Savage Homicides, Baby Homicides, Lady Homicides. They even had a deaf division.
When we're talking about history, heritage, and a relentless turnaround of music from the 80s onwards, and we're taking dominance in the 90s without question. I was a fan from the beginning. The hysteria noise, the heavy duty, armoured vocal elasticity of these gentlemen right here could only be one. The awesome Gunshot in the building! How are we today?
What an introduction. Firstly, it's really about honouring Alkaline. Alkaline heard a lot of the new songs before he passed. Yeah, he heard them and he kind of he'd say, yeah, I like that one. I heard Pistol and all that. He heard all of that stuff. So it's in honour of Alkaline and Coastie, really. That's what that album's all about.
A question that kind of could be a bit spicy. A question that came up in my head as you were talking there is the timeline of an artist. You guys are good people to speak to because you've lived through a lot. You've seen a lot of generations. You've seen recent passings, and the ambition is still there, keeping it going. But are there any actual challenges in your minds in 2024? Obviously, there are challenges in the 90s, but we're talking about a time where people are passing, where time's passing quicker, where albums may take a little bit longer for all of the family, life-related reasons. How does that, when I say this, how does it sit with you in the current state of Gunshot?
Great question.
Ben Bailey Smith, Doc Brown.
I don't know, a couple weeks before the launch, I really was feeling like this just feels nuts because rap music, I mean, I am hip-hop, I'm from hip-hop. Rap music is my absolute first love, but it's never made me any money. It's never made a living for me. It's never paid for my kids' food. It's never paid for a house. It's never paid for anything. if anything, it's cost me money and time over the years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just being real. And there was a point a couple of weeks before launch where I was just like, what the fuck am I doing, man? I need to just, like, this is just
I'm not
ridiculous.
23 no more. This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. I need to, like, go out there and find out when the next TV show I'm making is. Like, I need to get this money, and I need to the job that actually pays me, I need to, like, give it more respect, take it more seriously. My missus was like, just calm down, you know. But I was like on edge. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I'm wasting time.
Yeah.
And of course, when you get to our age, time becomes way more precious
It's
than money.
so funny you say that because
Money,
it's
sex,
so true, man.
Power, all of the things that
And
people
all of this is
covet.
kind of like a play. It's play, but then you start questioning yourself of like, well, where's the responsible thing I should be doing?
Yeah.
You're in the centre of London, you don't want to be anywhere else. Inside the house, would you please make some noise and turn it up for Bunny Bread, Mellow, Devastate, let's go!
The first time someone decided to jump in the circle and pop, lock, break. The first time someone decided they're gonna let someone hear them cutting up. The first time someone decided they're gonna risk going to a yard where they can get arrested, they're gonna spray a train or they're gonna spray a wall. Everyone had their birth. Hip hop is talking about birth. To me, it's also talking about renewal, because every time you deal with your art form, you're kind of born again.
Two things were crucial to us. Racking and style. Those two things. Because you can't get up without racking pain. And if you ain't got style, you'll be told about it.
Yeah.
Instantly. You'll be wiped out of existence.
Yeah.
You know, straight away. In our generation anyway. I know it's a little bit pally-pally now, right? People are nice. Oh, that's a nice tango.
There wasn't a place in London that I couldn't go to, or I didn't feel that I could, you know. I mean, I remember going to South London to check Rodney. I see you guys in West London.
Everywhere, man.
I used to go to hip hop jams. I mean, I see all of you guys in hip hop jams. So it was
in the building.
Looking back, it was a really healthy time.
Ever increasing and flourishing career of this lady's multi-talented, versatile in emceeing and singing and all cross genres. It's just incredible to even get her in because she's so busy working on new projects. UK hip hop's finest, Amy True in the building.
Love my brother. Thank you for having me, Killa. Look, I'm sorry to hear that this has happened to you. Sent her a few links for like mental health support and then blocked her because you don't engage, it will continue. And then it was just like bombardments and that of like different Instagram accounts.
Fake
and
accounts.
Then when lockdown the lift come off, back to the festival season. And the first festival, I'd heard her voice on the voice note she sent. I didn't know what she looked like. Come off stage, like having a little fag.
No.
And then I heard her like, can I have some of your cigarette? And I was like, it's you. And she just looked unwell, like, don't mean to be rude. And I was like, yeah, you got to stop this. And she was just like really giddy, like a child. And I was like, you got to stop this, like, it's a bit much. And then every single festival, grabbing hold of my driver, grabbing hold of my band, like threatening them, saying Amy needs to come with me and her dog, get in my boot.
No.
Things like that. Like, and I started screenshotting all the messages then because it was getting a bit much. And then Shambhala Festival finished, went home in my yard with my guitarist at midnight, smoking a little doobs and that in my front room. And then I feel something, and then she's there, like standing in my garden looking in, and I'm like, I got like PTSD, which isn't a forever thing, so I got up like, yo, what the fuck? Like, and she's like, she just stepped in like, oh, hey, you told me to come here, you called my name on stage, like, this is a great adventure.
We're in a normal location, as the reverberation of my voice can probably tell. We are in the headquarters of Camden Open Air Gallery. If you know, you know. It's one of the premier places for street art and beyond. And if we're talking about going one step beyond, the man to the right of me, your left, he should be no stranger to you. Gentleman has started off in the streets carving and architecturing all of his creativity on dilapidated surfaces and beyond. He's done a string of exhibitions, and this one really highlights what's really going on out on the streets. It's your boy Abbott's in the building.
Yes, my bro. How are we, man? You good?
Couldn't leave without it, you know.
Yeah, man.
Couldn't leave without spending the money on the Abbott.
But it's cool, man. But I like that, man. It's a good feeling, isn't it, man?
Incredible.
People appreciate your work enough to purchase. That's a big thing, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's everything.
It's a privilege, isn't it, man? Do you know what I mean? So,
it's everything.
Yeah,
and it's
man.
what you get up in the morning to do. It's what you wake up for.
Oh, yeah, man. People don't see
shows like this don't happen just by chance. And bro, this is sleepless nights. This is believing it might not work sometimes, and just pushing through, keep pushing through.
We've talked about this a lot.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
bro.
It's like, yeah, man.
It's funny how where your grind takes you. You know, you never expected this to have happened, surely, when you was younger.
Yeah, man. I didn't really as a kid. I didn't really know where my life was going, man. More time, I'd probably not always the direction it should always go. Do you know what I mean? Like, kind of a bit. Don't know what I want to do with myself. You know what I mean? Luckily, this isn't by luck, innit, man? Do you know what I mean? This is hard work.
It's that festive time of the year.
It's Farmer Christmas.
Inside the house with a very, very good friend of mine from back way back to my early informative years, you understand, and a friend of the podcast, Task Force, Farmer Beats, you name it. High Focus is the new album, How to Kill a Butterfly. Yo! Farmer G!
That's good, Kela.
How are you, my brother? That's the caliber we're dealing with here. You know what I mean?
But look, it's still, this is why I'm here again. You see, this is why it's How to Kill a Butterfly time, because there's a part I ain't been recognised. I'll say that. So it's not, I'm really bitter, but I ain't been recognised. I haven't been given my dues.
You feel that?
Oh no, I know it. I know it.